Trigger warning. This video discusses the details of a manic bipolar 1 episode and shows images from it. Peace, love, and light, y'all. What's going on? Now, I'm going to start this off with two truths and a lie. I am the oldest of 7. I have bipolar 1. And I have complete control over every part of my life. Now, for all my people out there, guess which one's the lie? Because y'all know I don't do no lie. I absolutely do not, repeat, do not have control over every aspect of my life, which brings me to this story I'm about to tell. Y'all ready for story time? Dig this. I mentioned in my last poetry piece that I put out, Quien Soy Yo, that I was recently an inpatient for a manic episode, and recent meaning I was in the hospital from April 5th until April 15th. That's 10 days, y'all, because of a bipolar 1 full-on manic episode. Now, what is interesting about this situation is that this has been a cascading issue. Now, what do I mean by cascading? I mean that this has been in development for at least 6 weeks. Now, I remember mentioning previously in previous videos that I was going to get into what got me to my previous hospital stay, believe it or not, which was 6 weeks ago. And that was for all of my neurodivergent people. Egyptian blue lotus can cause hallucinations that can push you into mania. So that's what happened initially there. But prior to that, I had been going through bouts of depression and honestly trying to weather a bunch of different mental storms without any regulation. What do I mean by regulation? I mean without any medication. I wanted to be one of those people who could manage their bipolar 1 without medication. There are people who can. But due to the fact that I don't just have bipolar 1, I have ADHD, I have CPTSD, I have auditory synesthesia, and a few other asterisks and acronyms. I'm unable to regulate without medication. It's just too much work, man. It's way too much work, and it requires more than I anticipated. And in the process of learning that, I learned things the hard way. That's kind of the trajectory of my life. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm stubborn. I'm hard-headed. And when I get my mind set to something, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I'm a rocket till the wheels fall off, man. And you couldn't tell me that I wasn't in control of everything I had going on until I ended up butterball naked in some blackberry thorn bushes looking like Jesus. And when I say Jesus, I really mean Jesus. Like, my entire body was stuck with thorns all in it. I was bleeding, and I straight up was butterball naked. Now, no, I wouldn't, I'm not a nudist or anything like that, but I am going to say, outside of the trauma of the situation, it was a little freeing. I ain't gonna hold you. But there was also a lot more going on than just me being butterball naked in these bushes. I literally walked through them and sat in them and meditated there. While I was meditating, I was literally staring directly at the sun without my glasses on. So now I have like this little ball in my eye. I've done damage to my retina. It's actually healing, but thankfully. But I've done damage to my retina. I was hallucinating, really, really, really hallucinating things. Like y'all saw Orange Hawk. Yeah, I saw one of those flag waver things. Y'all know them little things that go like this on the highway. Literally, when I was trying to stay focused on the sun, like I had that in my peripherals on the left side, and on the right side, it was something else. It looked like a person. I ain't gonna hold you. Then a neighbor ended up seeing me after I started walking out of the blackberry bushes, ready to go into a field and keep staring at the sun. But I got help from the people at Parham Hospital here in Richmond, Virginia. Um, and I ended up in the emergency room. Like, yo, this is where it got dark. This is where the hallucinations got crazy, bro. Um, the easiest way I can describe it, it was like some rapture type stuff. Like, it was interesting. It was kind of on theme with Easter, truthfully. Uh, Once I was in the hospital, I hallucinated, seeing and hearing some stuff that was super, super, super random. Like, I thought that the ball that I told you about from staring at the sun was like a laser gun, and I was shooting at reptilians. I thought I was like really on some Starship Trooper type stuff. And my poor father, man, he went through it. He went through it staying up, but he stayed up there with me, man. He stayed up with me through the whole situation. I uh, never do anything small. So while I'm telling y'all that I was in the bushes and then ended up in the hospital, I needed 2 blood transfusions because I am anemic and I was bleeding and I was also on my monthly. So yeah, all of that was going on at the same time. If you can imagine all of this happening at once. I will say there was I didn't have such a great experience in the emergency room part of the situation. I wasn't necessarily treated well. Um, I don't want to throw nobody under the bus, so I won't say more than that. But it definitely wasn't a great experience. But once I got up to the actual psychiatric ward, the psychiatric wing, I was treated super, super well. Shout out to the team at Pam Inpatient, Nurse Virginia, Nurse Julie, Miss Dottie, and the whole squad. Like, y'all, like, such nice people, beautiful human beings. Made me feel welcome, made me feel safe. Broke down every single medication to make me feel comfortable enough to take it and to understand how it works, which is what I needed from the jump and did not get the last time I was introduced to these medications. All of these things. Also, I want to take the time again to thank my first roommate that I had in there, Caitlin F., um, who was super sweet and kind to me. She actually broke me open. I was closed off. I was still in hallucinations, truthfully, when I got there. But she broke me out of that in less than a day by offering to read to me. She offered to read to me aloud because I didn't have glasses and I had mentioned it and said I couldn't see. So she started reading her book that she brought with her as an inpatient, and we vibed on poetry, we vibed on music, we vibed on Uno. She's a top tier Uno player. Um, and she introduced me to some people in the clinic. You know, I ended up going to group sessions because of her and really opened myself up to be my full self, you know. And in turn, I ended up meeting my second roommate after a couple days by myself. Her name was Rain. Shout out to Rain, who was also a top tier Uno player. And that's when the tables turned and I got to actually be a part of the solution. Like, not saying that I wasn't helpful to Caitlin. I definitely gave her some good advice, but she started it. And then I just kept it going. You know, shout out to Jen, the therapist that was on the wing who did the group session. She was awesome too. But yeah, the message that I wanted to get across with telling my story, and this is just a short version, y'all, like, just peep the pictures and just imagine. And I'm also going to write some poetry from this, of course. But my message here is simple. Please do not think you have to control everything. No one does anything in this world without help. The strongest people in the world have help. The strongest people in the world ask for help. The strongest people in the world come to terms with the fact that sometimes they cannot and need assistance. So please ask for help. Please manage as best you can, and please be mindful, especially if you're neurodivergent, you know, and have autism or bipolar or Tourette's or any of the other neurodivergencies. Please take the best care. Listen to sound advice. And don't be like me and end up like Jesus with thorns, not just on your crown, but all over your body. Peace, love, and light, y'all.